All right. Good morning. And we're off. If you're watching this video, you're meant to watch it. This video was made for you. This is a message that you need to hear. So you have to watch the whole video now if you found me. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm going for the emo look. Can you tell? Check that out. Bringing it back, baby. No, I just didn't do that this morning. And my hair is like getting crazy up here. It's going like, so I was just like, I don't want to keep pushing it back. So I'm just gonna kind of flop it, let it fly, and yeah, that's that. So what am I going to talk about today? What's the theme? What are we doing? It's Saturday. I have been unsuccessful at having a 10th anniversary date with my wife. Our 10th anniversary was Thursday, and we had my car broke down the day before. Or no, my car broke down the day before my car broke down. That day I went to go pick it up, but then it broke down in the same way again. So I got a new alternator and a belt for $400, but I don't know if that's the issue. And now it's Saturday, and I still haven't received a call back. And I asked them yesterday about it, and they said there wasn't any updates, so I don't even know if they've looked at it again. But I'm in the queue, and hopefully they'll get it done. It's all right. I just have to start work like an hour and a half, 2 hours behind my normal schedule. So, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. It's just something I got to deal with. I'm grateful to have a job. I work at the post office delivering a rural route. So I have to use my own vehicle. I have 2010 RAV4 that's converted with the right-hand pedal kit. And I just drive with a suicide knob on the steering wheel, if you know what that is. It's just like a little ball, basically, that spins. That's all very boring stuff. And I'm also just, this type of situation, it's like, it's frustrating. It's having your vehicle be kind of your job, and having to maintain it and stuff like that is annoying especially when you're not a mechanic. It would probably be annoying if you were a mechanic, because you'd constantly be working on it. I mean, I guess if you like that kind of stuff, but then why wouldn't you just be a mechanic and make more money and be your own boss? So yeah, I pay my mechanic, and he doesn't. I don't know. My wife kind of is chirping and just saying like, oh, how many times have you brought it home and he hasn't fixed the problem and all this? And it's like, I don't. It's about trust, and it's about and there's respect and all that kind of stuff. If you trust the guy and have respect for him, that he'll do a good job, and he's not going to steer you wrong. But she has a point. I don't know who's better. I'm kind of loyal in that sense. Is that if I feel like I'm being treated fairly, then I'm pretty loyal. Not too picky or anything like that. But then after a while, you do somebody doesn't do you right or charges you an exorbitant amount or is just not a friendly person, then that becomes like that opens the door for me to just say, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else. Again, another boring topic, talking about local mechanics and finding a good one, and whether you can trust them or... Oh man, I really wanted to have a good one today. It's a beautiful, bright day. I've been on just kind of I've been saying it's a roller coaster because it's like ups and downs and ups and downs, and there's all this, I can take you through the sequence of it. I'll try to do it as quick as possible because I want to get to a larger, grander theme. And I've been thinking Christianity has been on my mind a lot, and I've been wrestling with Christianity, and because I don't consider myself to be a Christian anymore. I would like to say I have respect for a lot of Christian beliefs, and I respect people who are Christians and own it and do try their best. And everybody is fallible, and there's kind of built-in stuff for all that. But let's go through this roller coaster really quick. I think I summed it up the other day, but I'm just going to go through it again. Basically, my dog got sick. It's my 40th birthday on Sunday. My dog got sick on Saturday, and no, that was a week before. My birthday was a week before. So the week after, we're going to Great Wolf Lodge with the kids on a Monday and Tuesday. But 2 days before, the Saturday and Sunday, see, I'm already getting it messed up. The Saturday and Sunday, my dog gets sick, pukes up his food, pukes up his water after we didn't feed him dinner. And then my wife starts to worry. We wake up in the morning. We feed him a little bit later than usual, and he poops blood. He had eaten a toy several weeks previous, and was finally getting the rest of it out, and it seems to have cut something in the intestine or something like that, and he had a big hemorrhage of blood, and the toy came out with grass and hair. We brought him to the emergency vet, spent $800 to get him fluids and a blood panel and X-ray to make sure there wasn't anything else. And he's back home. He's fine. He's doing great. We're, slowly introducing his other food. We go to Great Wolf Lodge. That's great. Monday, Tuesday, we get back. We hear there was some issues with the dogs. So that was like a little bit of drama continuing. You can see the golden retriever hair floating around. I just saw that. If you have a golden retriever, you can't get rid of the hair. It's great. I mean, they're lovely dogs, and they're great family dogs. Ours needs a little work. He's a rescue from a mill, and he's very skittish, and he's a little tiny shrimp who needs some more fat and muscle. But we're building him up, and this is a little setback, but he's doing all right, and everything is going to be all right. He's a good boy, and we love him. But we hear he had some trouble with Nona babysitting over the weekend with her and her little pug, and basically she woke up in the middle of the night and he had her little pug Vera in his mouth, but he was kind of mouthing her, and she was all wet from head to toe, and she was like crying basically when she woke up in the middle of the night and had to pull the dog off him. So that was kind of traumatic for her. But she said that our golden retriever apologized to her like at least 3 times by the time we got home, and that he was, you could tell he felt bad about it, and that he didn't mean anything by it. He really just misunderstood. He was trying to play with her. He likes to put his whole mouth on your another dog. He does it to me sometimes, and he's playing, and he doesn't know any better, and we're trying to correct that without re-traumatizing him, but he wouldn't hurt a fly, and he wasn't hurting her. He was like, she went submissive and she was scared, and basically he was on top of her, putting her in his mouth over and over again, chewing her on her like a little chew toy. But I don't think that she didn't have any marks on her, and he didn't actually hurt her. So, but it was traumatic. So that was like another little thing that happened in the middle of the night that was reported back, and once we got back over the border on our way home. And the first day, Wednesday, I was back to work. That's when my car had trouble, and so it added a bunch of time to my work day, and I had to get in a spare. And thank God I can get a spare for where I work, considering how hard I've tried to fight for a spare or a postal vehicle for my route, which they're. Guys, if you're watching this, and it's no secret to anyone in the post office, and it shouldn't be to anybody who can see, it's just falling apart. And I'm sorry to say that if you really love the post office. The managers are mismanaging things, at least from our region, from everything that I've seen. There's so much corruption. There are good people who work for the post office, and a lot of the people at your local post office are going to be good people. The postmasters is where it starts. That's where the corruption starts. I mean, there is corruption below that, but you really can't do a lot. It's like you're out on the road, or you're the clerks, you're the rural carriers, you're the maintenance, you're the city carriers. Like you have all these, they all have separate unions, and they all have separate deals, and everything is kind of cordoned off. So all these entities are less powerful. We don't have because we have different crafts and we're doing different jobs. They want to just like really hone in on how much you deserve to get paid, and there's every single tier. There's the seniority of when you got in to the post office. They just scrutinize every little thing, which seems like okay, that's fair or whatever, but it's really just a way for them to siphon back from you, and not treat you with respect like an owner or a business owner should, where they value their employees, and they only, and it's a bigger issue than just the post office. It's just the management class has a stranglehold on this kind of capitalist economy, and the way that the levers of power are moved. The manager class is basically, they're the ones that are motivated to get the bags, and they're also making the decisions, and once you have that love of money, because a lot of people they're not looking for the bag, they're looking for security, they're looking for something that is consistent, that they can build a life on, that is comfortable, and maybe have some luxuries. But I don't think everybody has this pursuit of bigger and better, and because you come to an understanding and a realization that it's more responsibility and it's more money, and it's like you got to keep that up. And the way that our system works is for the middle class and the lower middle class and below. Basically, it's like labor. It's your labor hours, and until you like crack that and get into something that's trendy or follow, or get into, trading or whatever it is. Like, if you're just trying to earn a paycheck, you're going to get squashed down, and it's going to be an uphill battle. And that's why I wish I did a trade. Like, I really wish I did a trade, because I would feel so much more secure, and I'd be able to be independent. And music and art and all that, while it had its time where it was very valuable and important, it is losing its value and importance every second of the day. I don't think that it has lost its value spiritually and stuff like that. I think that it's in the economic sense, it has lost its value. People have lost respect for the arts, and it's very sad. But it's also like, it's not a practical thing to really hang your hat on, unless you're willing to kind of take that road, which it can be done, but the dream of being the dream has died for me mostly, which is unsettling and hard to deal with, and going through all that stuff. And this, I am all over the place with this one, and I don't know, I was talking about Christianity and stuff like that, and how I'm not Christian, and I don't know how I got to this point. Basically, this one is very confusing even to me. It's very rambly, but a thought that I was having that I just want to express. And it's this paradox of there's twofold things that kind of run together. Purification, being pure, and giants, volcanism, the idea that our reality, the material substance of our reality, is getting burned away to leave the spirit, generation by generation. And what I mean by generation is like an aeon or an eon of time, getting smaller as the refining fire is burning away the impurities, and we're becoming more spiritually filled. The spiritual potential goes up. But I don't understand that necessarily with the idea that there used to be like magic in the air, and there used to be the ether. Maybe that's a cycle that is within that. I don't know how all this fits together, but these are just kind of thoughts that I've had. And then, so like the idea of reincarnation and refining, and then the Christian idea of being like this, being God's refining fire, all the challenges and the testing, and the idea of iron sharpens iron, where that's like just comparing us to purified metal being used for righteousness, and then you have Jesus as the sword, that divides. It's like there's all these weird, and then so the dividing, the purification, you're purifying into a you're refining and refining and refining. Do you ever, in the physical realm at least, and in the mathematic realm, do you ever get to the pure substance? Once and do you ever get to the pure substance where, because it's, is it, and if it is, if this is substance is just a frequency, when it's purely in resonance with, see, these are all very, very strange ways of looking at the world and thinking about it, and I understand that it sounds very schizophrenic, but it's pinpointing a frequency, but when you sweep through the waves, you realize that it's all one, it's all part of one band, and then your bandwidth is how wide of that wave. So our band, we're seeing only a portion of like our senses. We're only experiencing a portion of reality. Oh man, it's hard to sum up what I'm trying to say, but basically, we can't go back to God and have existence in how we describe existence. I think once the world is purified, once the world is back to normal, or once we're all purified and we're all godly, then we are going back to the source, and there's no need for this world anymore. Does that make sense? All right, guys. Everything is going to be all right.